Quinx is a top-view, single-screen game where you play the role of Arthur Crown, stressing about his final exams in food economy at the London School of Economics. Published by Supersoft in 1984 and coded by Andrew Trott. Starting off producing games on the Commodore PET for Supersoft, Trott progressed onto the VIC-20, and then our beloved Commodore 64, producing such delights as Sticks, Zerons, and also, this one too. Yep, he seemed to definitely like the letter X. So the story goes that exam stress has led to your character Arthur having very strange nightmares about inkworms and a large piece of paper that he is standing on. You see, in this zany yet addictive little game, you are trapped on this piece of A4 paper which is constantly being attacked by paper-eating worms, or mites, or whatever they are. It might only be a dream, but for your little character I am presuming it must seem very real. So let's try help the little fella out. But it won't be easy, because these little worms move incredibly fast, especially if there is an ink trail left from a previous moving worm. But you can prevent this from happening if you cover up the ink using the Tippet correction fluid bottle. I thought you had to actually run over to the Tippet bottle at first. I was thinking, no chance am I making it there and back, as these worms run raggedly about the place. But no, it's simply a case of either holding down the fire button or pressing the spacebar, thankfully. And if things are getting a bit too frenetic, then you can always toggle pause by hitting the F3 key. The worms appear at the side of the paper and start to move across from one side to the other, leaving behind an ink trail as they travel. You have to run around the paper and swat the worms to kill them in an effort to stop any of them from reaching the other side of the paper. This is done by simply walking over them, leaving a satisfying splat mark on the page, along with a bit of pixelated blood to remind you that they were there. On the left hand side of the screen there is a full bottle of Quinx ink, and over on the right, as we mentioned, you'll see a bottle of Tippet correcting fluid. Oh, and randomly enough, there is also a toothbrush here. Automatically, my mind is cast back to a similarly styled game I used to play at the very beginning of my Commodore 64 memories, Tooth Invaders. I suppose this is sort of similar in style. Worm invaders. That doesn't quite work, but would be something your domestic pet might dream of playing. If a worm does reach the other side of the paper, then they turn into paper-eating monsters and eat part of the paper. The monsters gorge themselves on the paper until they get to the edge, and then explode as a result of probable indigestion. Each level or sheet of paper is timed, and when the Quinx bottle over on the left becomes empty, it is then refilled with ink of a different colour, and the tippet is also refilled. Then, the section of paper that you are standing on will change colour, but if this should be less than 25% size of the original sheet, then the game will end. You can always see the total percentage of your paper here in the bottom right hand corner. From time to time, food or drink will appear in the left side of the screen, and you will gain bonus points by eating or drinking these. Items like apples or coffee. But the twist is that if you don't get to these items in time, then you will lose points instead, which is a bit harsh. Also, the irony is that if you eat the apples, then your dentist meter will rise in this bar on the right hand side of the screen. Yep, a dentist meter. This relates to what we was talking about earlier with the toothbrush thing, and this is where the toothpaste will come in handy. So if this bar does build up too much, be sure to go and brush your teeth in your dream. Oh, and drink coffee, that'll keep you asleep. Strange game indeed. Just to make sure it can't get any stranger in this dream, you'll also randomly hear a telephone ringing. Take a chance, go and answer it. It could be good news, or, as a twist, it could be Noel Edmonds.
He's being silly.
Nope, that's a lie, but it definitely could be bad news. But that's the risk you'll take by answering it, I suppose. With this being an arcade-style game, there is no end to the frivolity, so so the objective is to get the highest score possible. I was sort of hoping you'd wake up and pass your exams or something, but nope, it just continues until the worms chew up too much paper. Each inkworm, well and truly splattered, is worth 10 points. Eating the food will score 300, 600 or 900 points, but if you miss collecting the item then you'll lose 600 points. I still think this is very harsh. When the ink bottle is empty and the paper changes colour, a bonus of 10 points is added to your score for each 1% of the paper remaining. But if you reach 10,000 points, then you start on a fresh piece of paper, and one every 10,000 points thereafter. The joy, eh? Jokes aside, it is quite an addictive little game which will keep you busy for 5 or 10 minutes, and I do recommend you give this little game a go if you've not played it before. It's a simple, run around frantically, splatting worms kind of game that doesn't take too much brain power, but will certainly require a fair bit of dexterity. Very original indeed. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you've actually played this one before, then do be sure to let me know in the comments. If you're enjoying the nostalgia, or indeed just like reminiscing about Commodore 64 games in general, then also maybe consider subscribing to the channel. There's plenty more where this came from up on the channel playlists, and more coming regularly. Check out your favourite games that might already be up there, either by year of release or genre. If it's not there yet, then you never know, it might be the next video coming right up. Hopefully. I'll see you there. Until then, bye for now.